In the year 2043, the world is a complete mess. A deadly virus has wiped out 7 billion people, leaving only a tiny group of survivors. These folks live underground, hiding from a world that's basically a giant graveyard. Among them is a guy named James Cole. He's tough, scrappy, and, most importantly, still breathing. One day, Cole and his buddy wander into an abandoned CDC building, picking through the wreckage like scavengers. That's when Cole finds something weird. A broken watch, still hanging on the bones of a dead scientist. Cole doesn't know it yet, but this watch is about to change his life. He takes it back to a hidden bunker, home to a top-secret project called Splinter. It's run by a team of scientists led by Dr. Jones, and they've been working on something insane, a time machine. Yep, after 30 years of trial and error, they finally cracked it. And now they have a plan: send someone back in time to stop the virus before it ever spreads. Here, Cole steps up. He knows the world is doomed if someone doesn't try. So, after a few painful injections to prepare his body, the team straps him into the machine and fires it up. Destination? The year 2015. Mission? Find Dr. Cassandra Rayleigh, a CDC scientist who holds the key to stopping the outbreak. But of course, things go sideways. Instead of 2015, Cole crash lands in 2013. Not ideal, but he rolls with it. He tracks down Cassie at a medical conference where she's giving a speech about deadly diseases. She finishes up, heads to her car, and bam, there's Cole, sitting in the backseat like a horror movie villain. He grabs her, tells her to drive, and she freaks out. Probably not the best first impression. They pull into a deserted alley and Cole starts talking crazy. Time travel, world-ending viruses, a mission to save humanity. Cassie thinks he's a total lunatic. But then Cole pulls out the broken watch. It's identical to the one on Cassie's wrist. To prove a point, he takes a knife and scratches the glass on hers. A second later, the exact same scratch appears on the old watch he brought from the future. Cassie's mind is officially blown. Now she's listening. Cole explains that a man named Leland Goins is responsible for creating the virus. They have to stop him before it's too late. But Cassie shakes her head. She's never even heard of the guy. Uh-oh? Wrong timeline. She's not the key scientist yet. Cole realizes he's too early, so he gives her instructions. Meet him at the John Adams Hotel in 2 years. Then, poof, he vanishes into thin air, leaving Cassie standing there completely freaked out. Fast forward 2 years. Cassie's been waiting at the hotel, just like he said. But her life? Yeah, it's a wreck. No one believed her when she warned them about the virus. She lost her job, lost her boyfriend. She's about to give up when, bam, Cole appears right on time. They go up to her room and he lays it all out. In 2017, the virus will spread like wildfire. Millions will die. Cassie herself will be one of them. But before she goes, she'll record a message for the future revealing that Leland Goins is behind it all. And the only person who can stop this nightmare? James Cole. Cassie's in shock. This is her own future self speaking, telling her what to do. It's a lot to take in. But Cole, he's all in. He knows that if they succeed, the future will change. No virus, no apocalypse, no time machine. And if there's no time machine, that means, yeah, Cole will probably disappear. But he doesn't care. He's willing to make the sacrifice. Cassie, now fully on board, tells Cole she's been doing some digging. Leland Goins is real, and he's the CEO of a shady company making biological weapons. He's also attending a fancy party tonight, and she can get them in. Perfect. That night, they crash the party. But surprise, surprise, Cassie's ex, Aaron, is there too. He pulls her aside, acting all smug. If you hadn't lost your mind with all that doomsday nonsense, we'd still be together. Cassie fakes a smile, playing along. Inside the party, Cole scans the room, looking for his target. And there he is, Leland Goins, right in the middle of a fancy conversation, introducing his top scientist, Peter, to the guests. Cole sees his chance. He moves in, ready to take the shot. But before he can even raise his gun, Leland's guards spot him. Within seconds, they're all over him. Cassie, being the one who brought Cole inside, gets arrested too. Next thing they know, they're being dragged into a secret lab. It's creepy, cold, and full of equipment that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi horror movie. Leland's team runs tests on Cole, trying to figure out what makes him tick. Peter, the scientist, is fascinated. He says Cole's brain isn't like a normal human's. It's like he's experiencing time in a completely different way. Peter wants to study him more. But first, Cole gets locked up with Cassie. Cole wastes no time. He quickly grabs Cassie's watch, the same one she was wearing back in 2013, and slips it into his pocket. That's when Leland walks in, and he drops a bombshell. He says he's seen Cole before, back in 1987. Cole is stunned. He's never traveled to 1987, but Leland insists. He says Cole was looking for something called the Army of the 12 Monkeys. They're the ones who are going to end the world. Leland has no intention of letting Cole and Cassie leave alive. He orders his men to kill Cassie and dissect Cole for research. But Cole has one last trick up his sleeve. He takes the watch from his pocket and presses it against the one Cassie is wearing. And just like that, boom, a massive energy surge rips through the room. Time itself slows down. Everything shakes. In the chaos, Cole grabs a gun and shoots Leland right in the head. For a moment, it feels like they've won. Cole thinks he's finally stopped the virus, but Cassie quickly points out a major problem. If the future had changed, Cole wouldn't still be here. That means the virus is still coming in 2017. Someone else must have released it. Cole tells Cassie to run, to get as far away as she can. As she leaves, Cole vanishes into thin air, pulled back to 2043. When he arrives, he tells Dr. Jones everything. The mission failed. Leland is dead, but the outbreak still happened. That means someone else was behind it. Jones and her team start digging. They find an old news clip featuring a strange monkey logo. Then, they fine-tune Cassie's recorded message from 2017. One thing stands out. She mentions the Army of the 12 Monkeys. It's the first real clue. And there's more. Leland had a daughter, Jennifer Goines. In 2015, she was locked up in a mental hospital. She used to create monkey-themed artwork, which seems connected to the virus. Cole has his next mission. He's sent back to 2015 to track down Jennifer and find out what she knows. But walking into an asylum isn't easy. So he goes for the classic plan. He picks a fight with 2 cops, gets arrested, and earns himself a one-way ticket to the psych ward. For the next few days, he spends time with Jennifer. She's smart, unpredictable, and definitely knows something. She tells Cole that her father had a secret lab, and in that lab, he was hiding something. Only 2 people know where it is, her and someone else. But no matter how much Cole pushes, she won't give up the location. Meanwhile, Cassie learns Cole is locked up and rushes to get him out. Using her credentials as a doctor, she gains access to the hospital. Just as she finds Cole, something shocking happens. A group of masked men burst in and kidnap Jennifer. Their leader, a tall, creepy old guy known as the Pallid Man. And here's the weird part. He knows Cole. He even points to a scar on his cheek, saying that Cole gave it to him. But Cole has no idea who this guy is. Cole fights back, but he's outnumbered. The Pallid Man and his men escape with Jennifer, leaving Cole and Cassie scrambling for their next move. They realize their only shot now is to find the other person who knows about Leland's secret lab. Meanwhile, Cassie does some digging. She finds out that Jennifer used to work in her father's lab years ago. That means she definitely knows something. Cassie uncovers a crucial detail. She wasn't the only one who worked in Leland's secret lab. A Haitian doctor named Henry had also been there. They were the only 2 survivors of a brutal terrorist attack that wiped out the entire team of scientists. But Henry didn't get to escape for long. In 2014, while working in Haiti, he was found dead, shot. That's when Cassie drops another twist. She actually knew Henry. They had worked together before. This gives Cole a new mission. Travel to 2014, find Henry before his death, and get the location of the secret lab. If they can find the lab, they can destroy the virus before it ever spreads. But there's a catch. Cassie warns Cole that her past self is in Haiti at the same time. He must avoid her at all costs. If 2014 Cassie sees him, she won't understand, and it could mess up the timeline in ways they can't predict. Cole returns to 2043 and tells Dr. Jones about the plan. They all agree. Finding Henry is the only way forward. With that, Cole jumps back to 2014. He arrives in Haiti during a deadly cholera outbreak. The place is in chaos, people are sick, hospitals are overflowing, and the US CDC has set up medical camps to help. Cole soon spots Cassie, Henry, and their team working tirelessly in one of the camps. To get close to Henry, Cole disguises himself as a sick patient. He approaches, mumbling something about needing help for his family. Just as he's about to get Henry alone, Cassie walks up. Cole can't risk being recognized. He bolts, disappearing into the crowd. Meanwhile, Henry has his own problems. The camp is running out of antibiotics, and people are dying. He has no choice. He needs to go to a local dealer and buy more. As Henry walks through the streets, he gets the feeling he's being followed. He's right. Cole steps out of the shadows and finally confronts him. He wastes no time. He tells Henry that he's not here to hurt him, just to ask about Leland's secret lab. Henry instantly understands the weight of the situation. He agrees to talk, but first, they need to get those antibiotics. Together, they head to a local house where Henry keeps his medical supplies. That's when things go south. The pallid man arrives, this time without a scar on his left cheek. That means this is their first meeting. He doesn't know Cole yet, but Cole knows him, and he knows what's about to happen. Realizing Henry is in danger, Cole springs into action. He fights off the pallid man's guards, buying Henry enough time to escape. Then he turns to face the pallid man himself. The man is strong, but Cole is desperate. He grabs a glass bottle from a nearby table and smashes it across the pallid man's face. The glass slices into his cheek, leaving a deep scar. The same scar Cole saw back in 2015. Now the timeline makes sense. This is how the pallid man got it. With blood running down his face, the pallid man decides to retreat, but the damage is done. After the fight, Cole tracks down Henry. He demands the location of the secret lab, but Henry doesn't know. He and the other scientists were always taken there blindfolded. However, he does remember one thing. Just before the attack on the lab, they had installed a high-end decontamination system. If Cole can track down that equipment, he can find the lab. Cole now has the key to the next step. But there's one last problem. Henry is a loose end. The pallid man will stop at nothing to get the lab's location, and Henry is the only other person who might be able to figure it out. Cole makes a hard choice. Without hesitation, he pulls out his gun and shoots Henry in the head. There's no time to mourn. Cole has to move. The future is still at risk.